Okay, today we'll be looking at chapter one, a very brief overview of prehistoric times. And it's called prehistoric because there's no written record. And all of the rest of history is based on written records that we have found and trying to piece together what we think happened. But there is no written record here. We just go by archaeological finds and putting dates on those things and scientific research to try to figure out how the world began, how humans developed. And there might be things that you feel like you disagree with based on the Bible and your faith, and that's okay, and we'll have those discussions. So, but here's a look at what our book has to say. So, researchers agree that hominids, and the definition of hominid is just an upright walking being, first appeared on the continent of Africa at least 4 billion years ago. And so throughout this presentation, you'll see renderings and from museums and scientists of what they think this man looked like. So again, this doesn't look very familiar to us. And one of the biggest breakthroughs in figuring out how we developed and what the stages are came in the 20th century with the discovery of Lucy. So archaeologists pieced together the skeleton here of Lucy, and yes, she was named after the Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, because that was a popular song they had at the camp. And so they found these pieces, and so this type of hominid they classified to be Australopithecine. So Lucy is an Australopithecine. This kind of human is about 3 to 5, or hominid is about 3 to 5 feet tall, and limited intelligence. Their brains are believed to be about a third of the size of humans today. From there, we get Homo habilis. And researchers disagree about the time frame in between Australopithecine and Homo habilis. They're not sure exactly what that time gap might be. But they do think that about 2.5 million years ago, Homo habilis appeared. And this is a more advanced kind of hominid called skillful man. And their brains are about 50% larger than Australopithecines, and they're the first known human species to use stone tools, and that's where we get the term Stone Age. And these are really impressive stone tools. As you can see here, the stone blades could butcher 100 pounds of elephant meat in an hour. So very skilled, very impressive. From there, about 1.6 million years ago, researchers believe that Homo erectus evolved. Their brains were about 3/4 the size of the modern brain, human brain. They believe that they kind of coexisted around the same time as Homo habilis. As that started to die out, you have Homo erectus coming into play. And they're believed to be the first humans to leave Africa. They are known to have learned to control and use fire. And this happened a few miles at a time for thousands of years. Homo erectus spread over Europe and Asia. And again, we're not sure exactly why. We don't have any account of anybody explaining why they moved. It might have been because they had more people and they're competing for food and resources, and so they might have spread out further. Or perhaps because they are becoming more intelligent, they might have developed a curiosity about what was out there. From there, and sorry, again, I did not warn you about the picture. This is a model of what they think a Homo sapien looked like. So, many scientists believe Homo erectus evolved into Homo sapiens by 200,000 BC. They think that this human was a more adaptable human because it's thought that they were living during an ice age, and so the fact that they were able to adapt and live through that proves them to be adaptable. They are thought to be the same when we're talking about Neanderthals, the same kind of the caveman image. Thick bones and slanted foreheads, and the reason they get the name Neanderthals is their bones were found in the Neander Valley of Germany. And then it's thought that they vanished about 30,000 years ago, but little is known about why. And then you get Homo sapiens sapiens, which would be us. Took the place of Homo sapiens, had more developed tools, and also researchers have found cave drawings and would attribute it to this type of human. So as we became a little bit more advanced, a new era takes place, the agricultural revolution. And so agriculture is developed. We'll look at this a lot more in the coming weeks or so. But why they might have developed agriculture, maybe there was warming of the world, which helped them to grow things. Maybe as more and more people were on this planet, they needed a more reliable system, and so out of necessity, they developed agriculture. They also gradually domesticated animals, and this changed the way life was lived, right? You didn't have herders or hunter-gatherers. You stayed in one place, and that creates a lot of change for the human race. So these farming villages developed. This is an archaeological dig site in Çatalhöyük in modern-day Turkey, and this was the largest farming village that developed with about 6,000 people. But again, we'll look more later at what this agricultural revolution did. Take a look at the other video clips we have about where our faith and where Genesis may or may not fit into what we just heard about the development of humans.